The human lungs have an enormous gas exchange surface area, thanks to millions of tiny air sacs called alveoli. Each alveolus is a small, air-filled sac surrounded by a network of blood vessels that facilitate gas exchange, absorbing oxygen and releasing carbon dioxide. If stretched out, the combined surface area of all the alveoli would cover roughly 70 square meters, about the size of a badminton court. This large surface area maximizes the efficiency of gas exchange. Each day, around 10,000 liters of air pass through the lungs, which equals an average of 2,000 breaths daily. Sea turtles, especially species like the leatherback turtle, Dermocheles coriacea, can perform what is known as cloacal breathing. In the cloaca, these turtles have specialized cells that allow them to extract oxygen directly from water. This skin breathing through the cloacal cavity enables them to stay submerged for extended periods, which is particularly helpful during winter hibernation when they rest at the bottom of water bodies, conserving energy and avoiding predators. This technique is especially advantageous for freshwater turtles, like the red-eared slider, which can remain underwater for several months during hibernation without surfacing. The Megachile pluto species holds the title for the largest bee in the world. First discovered by famed naturalist Alfred Russel Wallace in the 19th century, this bee can reach a wingspan of up to 6 centimeters, with its body measuring nearly 4 centimeters in length. This giant bee inhabits the Indonesian islands, where it builds its nests in termite mounds for added protection against predators. Thought to be extinct for over 100 years, the Wallace's giant bee was rediscovered in 1981 and again in 2019, sparking excitement among scientists and nature enthusiasts alike. The Atacama Desert in Chile is considered the driest place on Earth. Some areas have recorded no rainfall for hundreds of years. Scientists estimate that the Atacama has remained arid for around 150 million years, with average annual rainfall in certain parts reaching only about 1 millimeter. The extreme dryness is due to multiple factors, including the Andes Mountains, which block moist air from the east, and the influence of the Peruvian current, which brings cold, dry air from the ocean. NASA often uses the Atacama as a testing ground for Mars rovers, as its conditions closely resemble those on Mars more than any other location on Earth. Kangaroos have a unique anatomical structure that prevents them from moving backward. Their long, powerful hind legs with strong tendons and broad, stiff feet are perfectly suited for forward hopping but make backward movement impossible. Additionally, their long, muscular tail, which acts as a counterbalance and stabilizer, further complicates any reverse motion. This specialized adaptation is highly efficient for moving across Australia's open landscapes, where kangaroos can leap up to 9 meters, about 30 feet, in a single bound. Kangaroos are one of Australia's national symbols, and their inability to move backward represents progress and forward motion, which is why the kangaroo appears on Australia's coat of arms. Earthworms have the ability to regenerate, meaning they can regrow lost segments of their bodies, although the extent of this regeneration depends on where the injury occurs. If an earthworm is cut near its front end, which contains vital organs and its brain, it may be able to regenerate the back portion. However, if it's damaged toward the back end, regeneration is limited or impossible. In nature, this regeneration ability helps earthworms survive, as they are frequently exposed to injuries while moving through soil and feeding. The regeneration process can take weeks or even months, and is controlled by specific stem cells that develop into necessary muscle, skin, and nerve cells. Like humans, gorillas have unique fingerprints that can be used to identify individuals. Each gorilla's fingerprint has a distinctive pattern of lines, whorls, and ridges. These precise fingerprints are used in studies to recognize individual animals, aiding biologists who monitor gorilla populations and work to protect these endangered animals. Other primate species, like chimpanzees and orangutans, also have unique fingerprints, highlighting their evolutionary closeness to humans. Cockroaches possess an extraordinary ability to survive without a head. They can live for up to a week before eventually dying of starvation. This is possible due to their unique anatomy and autonomous nervous system. Cockroaches breathe through spiracles located along their body, so lacking a head doesn't prevent them from breathing. Their bodies can also continue basic functions thanks to independent nerve centers in each body segment. Known for their remarkable resilience, cockroaches can even withstand high doses of radiation, making them some of the most adaptable insects on Earth. The tallest tsunami wave in history was recorded on July 9, 1958, in Lituya Bay, Alaska. An earthquake measuring 7.8 on the Richter scale caused a massive landslide into the bay, generating a wave that reached 524 meters, about half a kilometer in height. This enormous wave was so powerful that it uprooted trees and destroyed parts of the bay's shoreline. Although the wave reached an unimaginable height, its destruction was confined to the Bay Area and did not spread out to the open sea. The height of the wave in Lituya Bay was so exceptional that this event is now considered an example of a mega tsunami, a wave of unprecedented height and strength compared to typical tsunamis triggered by earthquakes. Traditional incandescent bulbs convert around 90% of the electrical energy into heat, leaving only about 10% for actual light, making them very inefficient. In contrast, modern lighting sources like LEDs are much more efficient. They convert most of the energy into light, with only a small amount wasted as heat, allowing for energy savings and longer lifespan. LEDs can consume up to 80% less energy than traditional bulbs and can last up to 25,000 hours, making them both eco-friendly and budget-friendly. Koalas rarely drink water, as they obtain most of their hydration from eucalyptus leaves, which make up their main diet. While rich in water, these leaves are low in nutrients and high in toxins, forcing koalas to have prolonged digestion and limited activity to conserve energy. During droughts or extreme heat, koalas may drink water if it's available. They have evolved to survive in water-scarce environments, and the name koala itself comes from an Aboriginal word meaning, the one who doesn't drink. Koalas also possess a special liver adaptation that helps neutralize the toxins in eucalyptus leaves, allowing them to survive despite their diet's low nutritional value. Honey has unique preservative qualities. Due to its low water content and high sugar concentration, it naturally resists bacteria and mold growth. It also contains enzymes from bee secretions that release hydrogen peroxide, acting as an antibacterial agent. Thanks to these properties, honey can last for centuries. Archaeologists have discovered intact honey in ancient Egyptian tombs that is over 3,000 years old and still edible. Honey was used in ancient civilizations as a preservative, medicine, and in embalming. To this day, it remains popular in cosmetics and natural medicine for its anti-inflammatory and antibacterial properties. The human face has about 43 muscles, enabling us to display a wide range of facial expressions, from smiles and surprise to sadness and anger. Facial muscles are essential for expressing emotions, playing a crucial role in human communication. Some of these muscles are very small and delicate, allowing for subtle expressions. Thanks to these muscles, we can express emotions nonverbally, and our range of facial expressions is more diverse than in most mammals. The orbicularis oculi muscle is responsible for a warm smile. It's this muscle that causes our eyes to slightly squint when we genuinely smile. Kangaroos have very strong tails that play a crucial role in their movement. The tail is not only used for balance during hopping, but also functions as a third leg, helping to propel them forward. When moving slowly, Kangaroos support themselves on their tails and front legs, moving their hind legs forward in a coordinated movement. This technique allows them to cover large distances efficiently while conserving energy. Studies have shown that a kangaroo's tail generates up to 5 times more force than its front legs, making it one of the most highly adapted limbs in nature for stability and propulsion. Certain species of dung beetles, such as Scarabaeus satyrus, are able to orient themselves at night by using the Milky Way as a natural compass. While transporting dung balls, which serve as food and shelter, they use the stars as reference points to move in a straight line, quickly distancing themselves from competitors. Dung beetles are among the few animals known to navigate using the light of the Milky Way. Research has shown that if the stars are obscured, they lose their sense of direction. Dung beetles are also known for their dancing behavior on top of their dung balls. Before setting off, they spin on the ball to determine the best direction for their journey. This fascinating behavior helps them establish orientation before beginning to transport. Army ants, also known as nomadic ants, are known for their ability to build bridges using their own bodies. By linking together with their legs, they form living bridges that allow the colony to cross obstacles such as rivers, ditches, or crevices. Through cooperation, they can adjust the shape and length of the bridge to fit the obstacle. Each ant in the bridge structure can assess if reinforcement is needed to allow other ants to pass. Army ants can also create living rafts during floods, allowing the colony to survive on water for extended periods. This behavior is a remarkable example of their complex social structure and adaptability. Certain plants, like wild tobacco, Nicotiana attenuata, can smell their surroundings by detecting chemical compounds emitted by neighboring plants under insect attack. When wild tobacco senses these airborne compounds, it activates the production of chemicals that deter or inhibit insect development. This unique alarm system allows plants to prepare for potential attacks and enhance their defenses against herbivores. For instance, plants may increase their production of alkaloids or other bitter, toxic compounds that repel insects. Some plants even send chemical signals to nearby predators, attracting insect-eating organisms, such as parasitic wasps that feed on caterpillars attacking the plant's leaves. Praying mantises are among the few insects capable of turning their heads 180 degrees. This ability provides them with an exceptional field of vision, allowing them to track prey movements without moving their bodies. With large, compound eyes offering a wide field of view, they can detect movements in multiple directions simultaneously. This makes them excellent predators, able to catch prey by surprise. Praying mantises use their powerful front limbs to strike quickly and enclose their prey. In many cultures, they symbolize patience and efficiency due to their unique hunting style. Emeralds, especially those with a deep, intense green color, are among the rarest and most sought-after gemstones. Their value depends on factors like color, transparency, and origin. High-quality emeralds, particularly from Colombia, can command higher prices per carat than diamonds. Moreover, emeralds are more susceptible to damage than diamonds due to their more brittle structure, making those that are free of inclusions even more valuable. Ancient Egyptians regarded emeralds as symbols of renewal and fertility, and Cleopatra was famously known for her love of emeralds, which she wore as a symbol of status and wealth. The bee hummingbird, Melissega heleni, native to Cuba, is the smallest bird in the world, weighing only 1.6 to 2 grams. It measures just about 5 to 6 centimeters, making it only slightly larger than a bee. Despite its tiny size, the bee hummingbird is incredibly fast and agile. Its heart can beat up to 1,200 times per minute, and its wings can beat up to 80 times per second. These small hummingbirds play an important role as pollinators for many flowering plants, contributing to biodiversity in Cuba. Trees play a crucial role in oxygen production and carbon dioxide absorption. An average tree with a well-developed canopy can produce around 100 kilograms of oxygen annually, which is enough to meet the yearly oxygen needs of 4 people. However, this amount varies depending on the species, size of the tree, climate, and environment in which it grows. Forests serve as the green lungs of the planet, making their protection a priority. Long-lived trees, such as oaks and sequoias, can produce oxygen for hundreds or even thousands of years while acting as carbon stores that help combat climate change. Alpacas, much like their close relatives, llamas, use spitting as a way to communicate and assert dominance within their group. It's often a warning or an expression of frustration. When an alpaca feels threatened, annoyed, or wants to establish its position within the herd, it may spit at other alpacas or even humans. Their spit contains partially digested food and stomach fluids, making it unpleasant for the recipient, which makes spitting an effective deterrent. This behavior is not always directed at humans. Sometimes alpacas spit at their herd mates to resolve conflicts or assert their position. Younger alpacas quickly learn this behavior as a common means of expression in their group. The sun is an incredibly powerful energy source. Every second, it releases approximately 384.6 yottawatts of energy, which could power all of humanity for billions of years if we could effectively harness it. Sunlight is the primary energy source for life on Earth, driving photosynthesis in plants that produce oxygen and form the basis of most food chains. It is estimated that the sun will continue to provide this energy for around 5 billion more years before it transforms into a red giant. Currently, only a small portion of solar energy is converted into usable power by humans, mainly through photovoltaic panels. Harnessing more solar energy is essential for future sustainable energy sources. Wristwatches were initially considered a fashionable accessory mainly for women. For a long time, men wore pocket watches, which were seen as more elegant and suitable for them. In the 19th century, wristwatches gained popularity among women, thanks to jeweler Louis Cartier, who created the first wristwatch for Brazilian aviator Alberto Santos Dumont to help him check the time during flights. During World War I, wristwatches became widely used by men. Soldiers appreciated their functionality in combat. Wristwatches quickly gained popularity after the war, with designs evolving to be more practical. Since then, wristwatches have become symbols of elegance and precision, and they have developed as fashion elements for both women and men.